They told us Perseus was a hero. But what if the truth of Medusa's beheading was darker than we've ever been told? The story of Perseus and Medusa is one of the most famous in Greek mythology. But beneath the shining armor and God-given gifts lies a tale of fear, betrayal, and survival. Today, we are not just retelling the legend, we are peeling it open, uncovering what the myths don't say aloud. Before we dive deep into Perseus's impossible mission, remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss stories that reveal the truth hidden inside myths. Let us step into the ancient world, a world where gods played with mortals as pawns, and heroes were often shaped as much by cruelty as by courage. The story begins not with Perseus, but with a woman, Danae, his mother. Locked in a bronze chamber by her father, King Acrisius, who feared a prophecy that her son would one day kill him. Imagine the loneliness of Danae, the cold metal walls, the silence broken only by her own breath. Yet even here, the gods intervened. Zeus descended in a shower of golden light, and Perseus was born. From the start, Perseus's life was marked by divine interference. Cast into the sea in a wooden chest with his mother, he survived against all odds. Rescued by a fisherman, raised humbly, Perseus grew strong, but fate had already placed him in the path of danger. It all spiraled when King Polydectes, ruler of Seriphos, became obsessed with Danae. Perseus, protective of his mother, stood in the way, and Polydectes, sly as a serpent, set a trap. "If you are as brave as you claim," the king sneered, "bring me the head of Medusa." Medusa, the very name froze hearts. Once a maiden said to be beautiful beyond words, she was cursed by Athena. Some say it was for desecrating her temple. Others whisper it was for being a victim of Poseidon's cruelty. Whatever the reason, Medusa's hair became living snakes. Her gaze turned men to stone. She was no monster by choice. She was a woman punished by gods. Perseus's heart pounded as he heard the challenge. To refuse would brand him a coward. To accept meant almost certain death. Alone in his room that night, he thought, "How can I face a creature whose eyes kill before I can even raise a sword?" But the gods had already chosen their champion. Hermes appeared with winged sandals, swift as the wind. Athena gave him a polished bronze shield, bright as a mirror. Hades lent him a helmet that made him invisible. And Hephaestus, the smith, forged a curved sword, sharp enough to cut through stone. Armed with gifts, Perseus set out. His first task was to find the Graii, 3 ancient sisters with gray hair and a single eye they passed between them. He approached carefully, watching them bicker in the dark. Their skin was wrinkled, their voices sharp like broken reeds. Perseus thought quickly, snatched their eye mid-passage, and held it high. "Tell me where to find the nymphs," he demanded. The sisters wailed, blind and helpless. At last they relented, revealing the path to Medusa's lair. Perseus, his grip tight on the eye, felt a pang of guilt, but released it back to them. The path grew darker, wilder. Twisted trees leaned like silent witnesses. Stone statues littered the ground, once men, now frozen mid-scream. The air smelled of dust and despair. Perseus's heart raced. Every step was a whisper closer to death. At the center of the lair lay Medusa. Her breath hissed like the wind through cracks in rock. Her snakes writhed, their scales glistening. Perseus dared not look directly. Instead, he raised the shield, using its reflection as his guide. His thoughts were a storm. She was once human. Is this justice, or cruelty disguised as fate? Medusa stirred, her voice soft yet broken. Another boy sent by the gods. Another sword for my neck. Do you even know why I am cursed? Her words hung heavy in the air, echoing against stone. Perseus hesitated. Her tone was not monstrous but mournful. Yet behind her, statues of warriors, hunters, and wanderers stood as a reminder. Her curse had destroyed countless lives. Survival demanded he finish what he came for. With one swift motion, guided by the shield, Perseus swung the blade. The sound was final, sharp as lightning striking stone. Silence followed, broken only by the hiss of dying serpents. In his hand, the head of Medusa dripped with blood, her eyes still glowing with deadly power. At that moment, something miraculous happened. From her blood sprang Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a warrior born of the sea god's seed. Medusa, even in death, gave life. Perseus, clutching the head, felt both triumph and sorrow. He had won, but victory tasted bitter. He wrapped it carefully in a sack, knowing its power was too dangerous to expose. On his return journey, Perseus's courage was tested again. He passed by Ethiopia, where the princess Andromeda was chained to a rock, offered as sacrifice to a sea monster. Her cries carried over the waves. Perseus's heart ached. He dove from the sky, struck the beast with Medusa's head, and shattered its terror. Andromeda was freed, her eyes filled with gratitude, her chains clattering into the sea. But Perseus's greatest reckoning was still to come. He returned to Seriphos, only to find Polydectes had not changed. The king still pursued Danae, his arrogance unbroken. Standing in the hall, Perseus raised the sack. "Here is the prize you demanded." Polydectes scoffed, laughing with his courtiers. In a heartbeat, Perseus unveiled the head. Gasps filled the chamber, followed by silence. One by one, the king and his men turned to stone, their mockery frozen forever. Justice, in its most terrifying form, had been delivered. Yet the prophecy still lingered. Years later, during a game of discus, Perseus accidentally struck his grandfather, Acrisius, fulfilling the fate foretold before his birth. Even the hero could not outrun destiny. So, was Perseus a hero, or merely another pawn in the gods' cruel game? Medusa was painted as a monster, yet her story speaks of suffering, betrayal, and survival. Perseus carried her head not just as a trophy, but as a reminder of the thin line between justice and vengeance. The truth behind the beheading is not one of pure glory. It is a story of tragedy, divine punishment, and the human will to survive against impossible odds. And perhaps that is why the tale of Perseus and Medusa still echoes today. Not just as myth, but as a mirror, forcing us to ask, when we call someone a monster, are we seeing them, or the curse that was forced upon them? Subscribe for more stories that strip away the golden paint of myth and reveal the truths hidden beneath stone and shadow.